Prince and Princess of Wales are thinking of moving their cosy Adelaide cottage, which is a relatively small 4-bedroom house on the grounds of Windsor, to a Gothic pile, a place called Fort Belvedere, where Edward...
Forest Lodge was never meant to spark this level of drama, but when it comes to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, nothing ever plays out quietly. This story isn't really about a house tucked inside Windsor Great Park. It's not even centered on architecture, history, or who's loading up the moving vans. This is a battle of power, image, and royal influence. And the shocking twist is that Catherine seems to have claimed the ultimate prize, both in reality and in symbolism. She's walked away with a glittering crown jewel.
Angela, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is, I've never seen this place before. I was quite taken aback by the sheer scale of it and the sheer size of it. It's somewhere near Virginia Water, apparently.
Yes, it's amazing.
Let's rewind for a moment, because Forest Lodge isn't just big, it's enormous. We're talking sparkling lakes, private tennis courts, endless rose gardens, 8 bedrooms, and enough seclusion to make any Hollywood star green with envy. But here's the shocking twist. William and Catherine aren't simply moving in. They're footing the bill themselves. No taxpayer money, no royal allowance, no streaming deals, just straight up cash from their own royal pockets. And that detail alone reportedly sent Meghan spiraling with frustration. Why? Because to her, Forest Lodge wasn't just another property. It was supposed to mean much more.
Seems it is a long time ago, was Edward III, and when he was with Willis Simpson. So it's very odd. I thought that there was not a place like that could have been
right. And so,
back when Meghan and Harry were still semi-royal sweethearts, rumors say Meghan already had her eyes on Forest Lodge. The couple even toured the estate, probably picturing themselves sipping organic tea on the grand patio while mapping out their next big media move. To her, this was the ultimate dream home, the kind of place that screams, "I've truly made it." So you can imagine the sting when word broke that Catherine would be the one settling in. And let's be clear, this wasn't some quiet frustration. Insiders claim Meghan's reaction was far from calm. Allegedly, she's been fixated on every single detail: square footage, fancy renovations, and even the new fireplace modifications William and Catherine requested.
Who's been looking after it?
Well, who knows? I mean, it's just extraordinary, isn't it? But it's
not full of migrants.
Perhaps they want to take that over before they all pour in.
Oh, well, you get a few in there. But it's a giant.
The word bitter doesn't even scratch the surface here. For Meghan, Forest Lodge has turned into a cruel mirror reflecting everything she believes slipped through her fingers. And Harry? He's apparently making things worse, not better. Sources claim he's turned into a full-time grumbler, pacing around Montecito and muttering lines like, "It should have been us," and "they always get everything." Insiders even say he's keeping a running scoreboard of wins and losses. Catherine walks away with a mansion, Meghan's left with Instagram pasta reels, William enjoys public adoration, and Harry, all he's got is yet another Netflix project no one actually asked for.
Let's read you some of the things. It's a large hall, drawing room, dining room, library, domestic quarters for 3 or 4 staff, 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. Meghan will be pleased because she's got 16 bathrooms. Large garden, rose garden, formal garden.
What makes this sting even sharper is the glaring contrast. Catherine isn't showing off at all. No tell-all interviews, no sly podcast digs, no tearful documentaries for sympathy. She's simply doing what a royal is expected to do, living quietly, renovating tastefully, and keeping the drama far away. In royal terms, that's nothing short of a mic drop. But Meghan, allegedly, she refuses to drop it. Reports claim she's already cooking up new content ideas, each one somehow circling back to Forest Lodge, like it's the obsession she just can't shake.
I hope they've got some place where Princess Charlotte can kick a football.
Yes.
Because she was sensational yesterday.
Yes.
Looked so gorgeous, and Prince William was smiling with her like no father could ever do better than that. So anyway.
Think flashy titles like The Royal Home That Got Away, or How I Almost Became the Queen of Windsor. Insiders whisper that Meghan is even pitching Netflix miniseries centered on heartbreak by real estate. To her, Forest Lodge has turned into a white whale she just can't let go of. Meanwhile, William and Catherine are settling in without any circus attached. No tantrum headlines, no juicy drama leaks, just quiet sophistication and a polished new paint job. And the public? They're eating it up. Catherine's approval ratings keep climbing higher, while Meghan's TikTok fan base is stuck battling royal historians in the comment sections. What a spectacle.
2 tennis courts, 2 lakes, paddock, lawns, absolutely amazing. But we know this might be somebody trying to make them look a bit nasty and grand, super grand, because...
And it's definitely not the outcome Meghan was aiming for. The harshest part? This was never even a head-to-head fight. Catherine didn't steal a thing. She didn't throw shade, didn't lift a finger to stir the pot. She simply made a move that flawlessly embodies everything Meghan has been chasing all along. Status, elegance, and a story the public can't resist. And that, more than anything, is fueling the alleged meltdown. Forest Lodge isn't just stone and ivy, it's a loud, clear statement of who's truly winning.
It's going round about William and Catherine. They're actually not fair and not true. But, we'll find out about this one.
But a lot of that is spurred on by the sort of the squad, isn't it? The people who support the other side, if you like, Harry and Meghan, which is nothing to say.
A quiet yet sprawling power move by the Wales family has reportedly morphed into Meghan's ultimate nightmare. Insiders claim that the second photos of Forest Lodge surfaced, Meghan began spiraling not because she longs for England, not because she's eager to rejoin the firm, but because someone else snagged what she allegedly believed should have been hers. And the cruel twist? Catherine made it all look effortless. Behind closed doors, Meghan is said to be measuring her Montecito mansion against Forest Lodge, detail by detail. And this isn't some casual comparison. Sources insist it's a full-blown fixation. Acres, bathrooms, square footage, every stat has become part of her running tally.
It up.
But it happens, doesn't it?
Yes, but there'd have to be massive amount of changing it and painting it and building it and all that sort of thing. It will take forever, won't it?
Oh yeah.
They're not going to try and get in there quickly before the winter comes.
And is it owned by...
Is Catherine ordering bespoke drapes or just splurging on high-end restoration hardware? Every tiny update from Windsor is said to push Meghan deeper into the spiral of royal envy. Insiders claim she's muttering nonstop about symmetry, prestige, and who truly deserves the grander kitchen island. But here's the dagger. Forest Lodge arrived without a hint of drama. William and Catherine didn't have to beg, bargain, or plead their way in. They simply stepped into the estate with ease, while Meghan is left stewing over every flawless detail.
Yes, I think it's owned by the royals, yes. But why it's not been brought into more popular interest, that I don't understand.
No, it's a real bolt from the blue. Just before I let you go, we should check in with our mates in Montecito. What's happening in their world this weekend?
Well, people...
Meanwhile, let's not forget Meghan and Harry once poured a staggering $2.5 million into renovating Frogmore Cottage, a place that wasn't even in the same league as Forest Lodge. And what did they get? Weeks of brutal headlines and endless criticism. Now they're forced to watch William and Catherine snap up a $16 million estate, all while applause thunders across the UK. At this point, it's not even about the price tag. It's about perception. Insiders say Meghan can't stand that Catherine is being praised for the very same lifestyle upgrades she once attempted. Forest Lodge is now being celebrated as tasteful, timeless, and the definition of quiet royalty.
But she wants to come back. She won't give in easily. We know all about that. But as far as Harry's going, the latest thing is that he's given the royal family his diary so that they then don't try and cross over something he's got to do already. But actually, he hasn't got anything to do.
Montecito, by contrast, has slipped into punchline territory rather than palace prestige. Netflix never managed to turn it into a glittering Hollywood backdrop, and that stings even more. And then there's Harry. If Meghan is the fire, he's the smoke alarm blaring without pause. Insiders claim he's sulking behind closed doors, stewing over the headlines, and endlessly replaying the what-ifs. What if they had stayed? What if they'd played the royal game a little smarter? What if they'd waited just a bit longer before cutting ties? Sources close to the pair insist Harry actually brings up Forest Lodge more often than Meghan, always with the same bitter refrain. resentment wrapped neatly in the disguise of reflection. But here's where it gets downright strange. Insiders say Meghan is channeling all that resentment straight into storyboards. Allegedly, she's busy pitching Netflix ideas built around real estate rivalries. One concept on the table is a glossy docuseries about homes that define history, conveniently opening with the Sussexes' own housing saga. Another pitch reportedly plays with cheeky comparisons of palaces versus mansions, not as satire but as a calculated way to reframe Meghan as the voice of modern royalty while tossing subtle shade at the traditional route. Meanwhile, those close to Catherine insist she isn't giving any of this the time of day. She's focused on renovations, reorganizing spaces, and picking out wallpaper. No tweets, no leaks, no schemes. Just quiet elegance, fresh paint, and brand new curtains. And somehow, that silence has roared louder than any interview Meghan has ever given. At least, that's what insiders claim. It's this stark contrast that's said to be driving Meghan up the wall. Catherine isn't competing, isn't flaunting, isn't even acknowledging the drama, and yet that's exactly why she's winning. Meghan reportedly can't wrap her head around how doing less earns Catherine more praise. Because when the public sees Catherine casually strolling through Forest Lodge with her children and a teacup in hand, it's checkmate in the perception game. The house itself isn't the real battle, it's the image it projects. Peace, stability, and a flawless glow-up achieved without a single messy headline. And in this war of image versus impact, Catherine may have just landed the final strike without even speaking a word. Harry's been pacing. Insiders say not so much on his feet, but in his mind. He's reportedly stuck replaying old conversations, second-guessing decisions, and overanalyzing every misstep that led them here. To him, Forest Lodge isn't just a house, it's a brutal symbol that he's no longer part of the royal game. While William settles comfortably into royal luxury with the public's applause behind him, Harry is allegedly stranded across the Atlantic, voicing grievances to anyone willing to listen. What stings most is the quiet way William and Catherine pulled it off. No glossy press tours, no carefully planned interviews, no flashy PR rollouts, just a simple, seamless move into what's now being hailed as their forever home. And that very phrase alone is said to make Meghan bristle with fury. Forever, that's the word Meghan always wanted stamped onto her in Harry's royal identity, but instead, what they got was temporary. Frogmore was never the dream, it was the compromise. Forest Lodge, though, that was supposed to be the crown jewel in her story. Now it's being hailed as a masterstroke of royal evolution. The Wales family isn't just moving in, they're moving forward, and they've done it all without even brushing up against controversy. The upgrades, perfectly elegant. The financing, entirely private. The headlines, absolutely glowing. One commentator even described Catherine strolling through the gardens as the image of modern monarchy, and that line alone allegedly sent Meghan spinning into a rage spiral. Because for years she tried to craft that very image, only to end up cast as the villain in someone else's fairy tale. And Meghan isn't letting this one go. Behind the scenes, she's reportedly sketching out her own redemption arc. One idea, a glossy docuseries centered on reinvention. Another, turning her Montecito mansion into the ultimate aesthetic rival to Windsor. Think marble countertops, perfectly styled bookshelves, and golden California sunlight pouring into a casually royal kitchen. If Catherine has Forest Lodge, Meghan wants her home to be the cooler West Coast version, except this time curated for prestige, not pity. The snag? The internet isn't buying it. Even former fans and seasoned royal watchers are calling out the pattern. Every time Catherine quietly thrives, Meghan allegedly answers with more noise. Every step turns into a headline showdown, and now Forest Lodge has become the freshest battlefield in their ongoing image war. But this is one battle Meghan reportedly can't win. No amount of architectural envy, whispered comparisons, or Netflix pitch decks can erase the cold reality. The house is already claimed, and so is the storyline. And it's not just Meghan feeling the sting. Harry is said to be equally rattled, watching his brother secure it all with shocking ease. A historic estate, unwavering public support, family unity delivered without a shred of fanfare. While Harry keeps voicing his emotional bruises, William's silence speaks volumes. That sharp, strategic quiet keeps the spotlight firmly where it belongs, on progress, not problems. Insiders whisper that what's truly tormenting Meghan isn't the square footage of Forest Lodge, it's the symbolism, status, acceptance, a graceful rise without scandal. And witnessing Catherine wear that invisible crown effortlessly without ever chasing it is reportedly unbearable for her. Meghan once pictured herself filming royal documentaries in grand halls like those, yet now she's left filming lifestyle snippets in a kitchen that practically screams trying too hard. The contrast couldn't be harsher. But this saga doesn't really end with houses, it ends with perception. Meghan and Harry are still fighting in the court of public opinion, straining to sell themselves as the relatable royals. The problem? The more they talk, the louder Catherine's silence seems to echo. And that's the real victory, not just holding the keys to Forest Lodge, but having the grace to let others unravel while you quietly hang new curtains and decorate in peace. Forest Lodge isn't just a property anymore, it's the scoreboard. And right now the results couldn't be clearer. William and Catherine, settled, respected, thriving. Meghan and Harry, bitter, scrambling, spinning in the same exhausting narrative loop they just can't break. Because in the end, you can't build a fairy tale out of envy, and that's the one truth. Forest Lodge now shouts louder than anything else.